Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have for you an update video on this Makita GSH02 circular saw on the track numbers, so stick with us. Alright guys, so this video is not a full video review of the saw. We do have another full video review of the saw. I'll definitely go ahead and encourage you to check that one out, okay? If you did check it out, this video is, we're going to be talking about the performance numbers of the saw. So one of the things that we did in that video was we ran the saw through our test track, okay? And we did that and we used this kitchen timer type thing. There's just a lot of room for error, and the accuracy and things of that was not necessarily the best, okay? So one of the things that we did do was we took the exact same footage from that video and embedded a stopwatch timer by frame on the test, okay? So therefore we can get more accurate numbers of the saw when it went through our track, okay? So that should clear a lot of that stuff up. No additional testing, no additional footage, none of that stuff was taken. This is literally the same footage, just with that timer and stuff embedded. So let's go ahead and take a look at the new numbers, the more accurate numbers, and we'll be back. All right, you guys, so I hope you guys wrote all those numbers down and took like snapshots of it, because those numbers went by really fast, all right? I'm just kidding, guys. We're gonna go over it more in detail. Numbers went by really fast. Let's do a quick recap of it. Before we do a recap, I'm gonna remind you, every saw that we test with a brand new blade. In this case, it is a Avanti Pro framing 7¼ inch 24 carbide tooth blade. It's readily available at your home center, but it is the same type of blade or same model blade that we use in every saw, okay? And we also use freshly charged full batteries in every test to keep it even, okay? So make sure to keep that in mind, and let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers, all right? So for using the 2.5 amp hour battery, the 40 volt XGT battery, on the double stack test, it comes in at 5.04 seconds for the first run. On the second run, came in at 4.41 seconds. Third run came in at 4.08 seconds. Therefore, if you average the 3 runs, the average comes in at 4.51 seconds, okay? Moving on to the triple stack numbers, using the same 2.5 amp hour battery, came in at First run came in at 7.04 seconds, second run came in at 6.21 seconds, and the third run came in at 6.16 seconds, okay? So if you take the average of those 3 runs, the average comes out to about 6.47 seconds, all right? So if you total up the 2 averages, the AKA total performance number we're kind of trying to use here, and I know total performance is almost impossible to measure, but hey, that's what we're gonna go with. The total number comes out to 10.98 seconds, okay? So that is a number we're going to be using for this saw and the 2.5 amp hour battery. So another thing that we did was we tested it with the 4 amp hour battery, okay, the XGT 4 amp hour battery. So let's go ahead and take a look at those numbers. So using the 4 amp hour battery on the first run on the double stack OSB test came in at 4.32 seconds. Second run came in at 4.25 seconds, and the third run came in at 4.3 seconds. Therefore, if you average the 3 numbers, the average comes out to 4.29 seconds, okay? And moving on to the triple stack test, where it gets like more material to cut through, almost like a full depth of cut type deal. The first run came in at 5 seconds, second run came in at 5.41 seconds, and the third run came in at 5.23 seconds, okay? So if you average the 3 runs, the average comes out at 5.21 seconds, and therefore, if you total up the 2 averages, the total performance number comes in at 9.5 seconds, okay? So 9.5 seconds compared to 10.98 seconds. If you're like running like a quarter mile or super race type thing, obviously that's a lot, but I mean, it is a little bit of a difference, okay? So you do obviously get a better performance improvement by using the higher capacity batteries, as you do in almost every high drain tool, okay? So if you are going to be using this tool, I would encourage you to use the higher capacity battery, because it does help with the cut and just gain a little bit more power, and it just feels a little bit nicer, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the saw for just a little bit, mainly because on the first videos that were released on the full video reviews of this, we didn't necessarily talk about this little button or this light button here, okay? It's not actually a button, it's just the LED light. And there's 3 modes, okay? So this saw has automatic speed change technology, and it's got high speed mode, high torque mode, and like overdrive mode, okay? And the saw automatically figures out and then changes automatically. And it's very smooth when it changes, because you barely even notice it. And if you're actually cutting stuff and you're not trying to feel for it, you're probably not gonna notice it. And even if you are, most people, I'm gonna say, probably not gonna notice that it's actually doing that. But the saw has the brains, and it kind of figures it out, okay? So when the light is off, it means the saw is in, I believe, high speed mode. And when the light is on, it means the saw is in high torque mode. And when the light is blinking, the saw is in overdrive mode, okay? So it's nice that they let you know by giving you some kind of indicator, but most people, when they're cutting, are not going to be looking at the light to see if it comes on, right? I mean, realistically, you're going to be like focusing on the track that it's sliding on, or your cut piece, or the blade, or whatever it is, right? So just know that it's there, but obviously you don't have to go and look for it. Saw will automatically figure it out as it goes, okay? So with that being said, I know we're throwing a lot of numbers and stuff like that, and this is probably like the 3rd video or whatnot of this saw and the track numbers, and I apologize for that. We did have a little bit of issues in trying to figure out what the best testing methodology and uniform testing was going to be. Testing with framing lumber obviously wasn't necessarily the best, because when that piece of lumber runs out, we got to go get new lumber, and the new lumber may be different density and material and stuff like that than that lumber, okay? So we moved over to cutting sheets of subfloor OSB, mainly subfloor because it's a little bit more dense than sheathing USB. It's more dense, and it's more packed with not only more strands of wood, but also more adhesive and stuff to make it more dense and not necessarily absorb water like sheathing OSB will. Okay, so the sheathing, or the subfloor OSB we're using is LP Top Notch 350, 23-30 seconds. Almost all the tests that we're going to be doing is going to be formatted to using that and the embedded stopwatch timers. So this is going to be the last video about this saw and the track numbers, because we're going to be using the numbers that we got from here. So I apologize, and some of the other videos that we're going to be releasing, I realize they're not necessarily in the best order, and because we're still trying to figure it out. But please stick with us because we did figure it out and nail it down. So it is going to get better, and if it hasn't already been better, okay? And I'm telling you, we figured it out, so it is better, okay? And we do have a few more saws and stuff like that to review and in the lineup to go ahead and put the videos out for. And now that we've got it down, we're going to go ahead and just keep rolling out more videos, okay? So with that being said, is this a great saw? Yeah, it's a great saw. If you're in the XGT lineup and you're trying to figure out if you should buy this saw and you want a track compatible saw, you got to get the saw because this is the only saw in the XGT lineup that can fit on the track at this time of the posting, okay? They may release a track saw, dedicated track saw in this lineup, but they don't necessarily have that one right now. But it is there. If you're trying to decide between buying this saw or the 36 volt model, which is the XSH08, I would probably get this saw because you're also going to be buying into a newer lineup or a newer platform, and it's only using really one battery, okay? And usually I'm not a complainer of one battery or two battery platform or two batteries in one tool, mainly because most people in a power tool platform have more than one battery, okay? So if you're always not happy about using two batteries, then you should think of it as, you know, I didn't have to buy into another battery platform to get higher powered or more advantage of the tools that you have, right? Or the batteries that you have. So the reason I'm really saying that is because on the back of this saw, it's a little bit different than the X2 18 volt X2 model, because on the 18 volt X2 model, the batteries will line up this way and plug into the back here, right? One here, one here. On this saw, on the XGT model, it's a single battery, so it slides in this way. So I'm not sure if it's just me, but I feel like the balance is just a little bit better with one battery in it. And it feels like maybe more of the weight is a little bit higher up and more further towards the center versus lower and further out, right? So in my opinion, it just feels a little bit better, but that's just something I noticed. You don't have to nitpick about that, although we are nitpicking, okay? So just keep that in mind. But like I said, it will fit on the Makita track. And if you guys are woodworking people, you know that other tools or stuff that fits on the Makita track will fit on some of the other tracks, okay? So anyways, high level overview, not a full video review of this, so go check out the full video review if you want. But hope this video has helped you guys out, and stay tuned for more episodes and more videos like this. So stick with us, and we'll see you guys next time.